Days that can feel so long. I've been hanging on to a sad love song. Nights never came to dawn. They went on and on when you pulled me out. And before I knew it, I became all about you. I became all about you. And before I knew it, I became all about you. I became all about you.
Okay, Derrick, are you good now?
They understood you? Like who?
The teacher was Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, don't say it again. I was like, okay.
Are
Okay.
we
We're
ready?
You can do the intro.
Welcome back to Ads on Air, episode Who Knows? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
It's too much mental math. We have a very special episode today. I'm joined here with Katie Standish and Derrick Brown. And
Jastin Nolan tuning in. You know what it is.
Jastin Nolan. Jastin, why are you here? He's like, that's a good question.
I'm really here to support the Ad Club podcast and my boy Derrick.
Oh, so sweet.
But you know, I'm known for a couple things. I made a movie and I'm on Squid Games, the challenge.
Okay, so Jastin was on Squid Games Live Challenge, which is on Netflix. It's based off the original show, the original series Squid Games, and it's like kind of like the same thing, but as a reality show. Mm-hmm. So, Katie, take it away. We're super excited to have you, and I haven't looked into anything, so this is all going to be my initial reaction, and I'm sure you're going to get berated with questions. So,
Of course, that's how we do it here.
be prepared.
Love it.
Yeah, so first we'll just have you introduce yourself. So tell us about your connection to IU and stuff like that. Yeah. Sorry.
Here's the cheat sheet. Just
Here's your little bio.
in case you forgot, this is everything that we know about you.
This is what we have about you.
Okay. Bet.
My research.
Okay. Talking about myself. I just graduated. I'm a media advertising major like you guys. But like my junior year, I moved to Los Angeles. Did the semester in LA program through IU, and I just really found a real passion and love for film and making movies and being creative, just that energy. And just going to LA and getting that experience really opened my eyes to like how much more there is to this world. You know, I'm an Indiana boy, born and raised from Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, I don't know too much outside of here, but you know, when I did that, it really changed things for me, and just it made me appreciate life and the opportunities out here. And then from there, I moved to Spain. I lived there for 7 months and just did a whole bunch of traveling by myself, backpacked like 5 different countries. And luckily, I auditioned for Squid Games. Just do it, why not? And they called me the next day before I went. And then it just worked perfectly because I paid to go to Spain and then Netflix paid for me to go home. So
There you go.
That's smart. So really, I mean, you're like, I've never even seen the show. I'm just looking for a plane ticket home.
The roundabout way.
it all just ended up working out. Like when they got me on, I'm like, yes, I can keep $1,500 in my pocket.
Right, yeah. So tell me about backpacking. You said through Spain, right? And a few other...
Really just Europe in general. That was so amazing, the culture, the traditions, and just, I'm a big food person, so everywhere I went, I want to try the culture's food. In Spain, it's tapas,
right.
And if you go to a bar, they'll give you like a beer, but they'll also give you like a little small food to eat. But just, I went to Amsterdam, Venice, Italy, London, that's where I shot the show, I went around Spain and I went to like Pilar, which is a really, really big religious festival. And that was such a vibe. And I think and I went to Paris.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just stayed in hostels.
I was about to say, where'd you stay? Did you just like? I always find it so interesting. I always used to watch YouTubers who would like do stuff like that, and then I don't know, maybe it would be like scripted or whatever, but they like meet someone at the market or something and explain their story, and then like end up sleeping on their couch or something like that. But you did the hostels,
Yeah.
Any like crazy stories like that? I'm sure you have something, but you know, safe for ads on air stories.
Yeah, of course. So, a crazy story, it would be like in Paris. I had such a great time in Paris, and the hostel was such a big part of that experience because it allowed me to make friends and meet other travelers, solo travelers, people that came in groups, and you know, you can respect that energy and you just connect that way. But this hostel, it had about 6 beds in there, bunk beds. So it was about 12 people in the room. So like when you get in there, there's a cage that you put your stuff in and you lock it. And when I got in there, I put my stuff under my bed and then I just went out to go explore Paris. When I came back, there was somebody sleeping in my bed. And I tried to wake him up. He was slumped. He was not moving. I'm like, hey, bro, this is my bed. He was not getting up, like some random guy. And I hadn't seen him before. I'm like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I went to go sleep in another open bed. And I get woken up out of the middle of my sleep because this dude said I'm sleeping in his bed. So it was just a big complication. And he found somebody else's bed to go sleep in. So we were just all around. I didn't know how comfortable I felt with it because you could just smell other people's smells in the bed. Yeah, but, you know, I had to get some rest. I had to just sleep. And that guy ended up being a really good friend of mine, and we ended up going around Paris together.
The guy that stole your bed?
No, the guy that I stole his bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I love the idea of traveling and doing all that stuff and backpacking, and I want to do it, but I just know that I would...
As soon as something like that happens.
As soon as something like that, I'm calling a cab to a
Like, I need to have
hotel.
money for hotels or something.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing. I have to be, like, so
need a
affluent to
plan.
be able to... I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
So I totally respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to work while I was living in Spain, so I had to be very precise with the money and how I spent it, knowing how much money I'm spending on food. And hostels are super cheap. Like, blessing.
That's
I mean, thank God they exist. But that's my mom kind of did the same thing. She went through Europe this past summer and then spent some time in Africa.
So
and
dope.
she's very much like me, like grown woman. She's not trying to like come back to someone sleeping in her bed, you know. But she was like, even just like the variable expense, like her luggage got destroyed, and then I mean, she went all out on like luxury luggage room, which she didn't need to do, but it's just like the variable expenses, like just. It's so easy to go over budget if you're not careful.
It really is, because like you know, those are all like the main cities, so like a lot of stuff is expensive. So I would do like a lot of research before I would go to find out where places are safe and what places, you know, I can get some solid food. And just a tip to all you guys out there: just avoid tourist traps. Don't buy any food. Don't buy anything because they're probably selling that same stuff a couple miles away for way cheaper.
Yeah. No free bracelets at the Eiffel Tower or anything like that.
See, now that's a good one, because you know, like they love to like they'll make it seem like it's free. They'll be like, hey, here's a bracelet. They'll put it on you and then they'll say, here, $20.
That happened to me in Chicago.
Yes, they do. Right by the street.
Chicago?
Yeah, when we were in Chicago.
When we were in Chicago.
With me and Tasha. It happened to me and Tasha. Yeah.
When you guys left the bar?
I didn't know they do that.
No, when we after Nando's and we were going to find what's her face, Jessie.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
that.
they do that. They're like
I
they
didn't
were
know they did
completely
it in
free. Here
Chicago.
they are. They put it on there. She was like, okay, we need a donation. We were like, no. They were like, okay, I'm gonna have to take them back. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
At least they were nice about it. Usually they don't.
Usually
it's
they
not
force you to pay.
yeah, no.
But they make it seem like it, like, hey, give me a donation, and
Right.
then you can't give a donation.
Yeah.
Give it right back.
Exactly. I'm like, okay,
Chicago for me has always been like mixtapes. Like on the CD, it have their picture on the CD. They're like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to promote my music or whatever." And then you take it, and they're like, and then they finish their sentence like small donation or like whatever you can spare or whatever.
Yeah,
And then it's like
ahead.
they get offended when you're like, oh no, I'm good. Then we're like, man, you don't want to support me and like all this different stuff.
No, I don't really like going for stuff like that. You know, I got finessed when I lived in Los Angeles. They were selling 3D glasses, like the ones you find on a cereal box. Like you cut it out, little blue and red glasses, and like I spent like $15 on those glasses because it sounded pretty cool. And I went to their YouTube page to use these glasses. Didn't work. Like it was just a regular video, so I'm very wary of stuff like that now.
Wait, so hold on. How did they rope you into this?
Because they were like, hey, we're selling these 3D glasses. All you gotta do is you give us $15 for the glasses and then go to our YouTube page and then you can watch. It's gonna be 3D. And we wrote this really cool script and we got this really cool thing. I'm like, okay, bet. Yeah, I'm gonna support a local business. I might as well help. And
No, you gotta show me the video up front.
now I know.
Give me a preview clip or something.
Like I tested.
Local business is an interesting term for that too.
Local scam.
Yeah.
Local scammer.
Called Better Business Bureau or something.
Yeah.
They did not get verified.
Yeah. And then you try to write a bad review on Yelp. You're like, wait a minute.
They don't even exist.
Yeah. Okay.
3D masters don't exist on Yelp.
Okay, so you go from living in hostels to then Squid Games environment, which is also a crazy environment. How did you hear about this opportunity, and what made you say, I'm going to sign up?
I heard about this opportunity from my girlfriend at the time. She had sent me the link, the open audition, and I applied. And they make you ask like a bunch of questions like, are you a team player? Are you a leader? Are you a snake? Are you gonna make friends? Are you gonna keep to yourself? You know, a bunch of personal questions about how you would play the game, and then they make you do like a video about who you are. And I made that video like 20 times. It was very cheesy, but you know, because you just gotta put a bunch of energy into it and try to show like your personality. But that made me feel like I could do it. It was really that LA experience, like that changed, you know, my whole mindset. You know, like it made me see that you could really do whatever. You know, I had friends that were on shows that Euphoria and Snowfall shows that I love. And, you know, seeing that other people can do it, it just inspired me to think that, okay, why can't I do it? My favorite quote is, like, if anybody could do it, why not me? You know?
Yeah. That's mad motivational.
Yeah. Great quote to
I
live
was
by.
just going to say, that is so true. And I feel like I've kind of gone through, like, the same realization recently of, like, people getting, like, big-time roles and jobs and meeting, like, performers and stuff. And I've had the opportunity to meet some, like, you know, semi-famous people recently. And it's, like, it's so relative. Like, you can... It's all, like, one hello and introduce, you know, yourself to one person. In 2 weeks, they're introducing you to someone, and it's, like, the next level.
That's what it's all about, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It really is.
Networking.
And that's always been my thing, like, from the first week of classes here at IU. Not that IU sucks or anything like that, but I'm like... You know, I can tell I'm not going to learn much that I couldn't have learned on YouTube or whatever, but the people that are here, and I feel like that's what you're really
I feel like college is about, you're paying for the connections. You're paying for the connections and the extracurriculars.
And freshmen don't know that.
Exactly. They don't know that. They just go to class, don't take notes,
Go to class, go to parties. They don't know that that's it. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just skip school, like, because...
They're networking at the parties.
This is what I'm saying, guys. You don't have to go to class.
No, Alex is saying all this, but his connections are coming from working at so...
Hey, that'll do it.
This will be cut out.
Did you see Mark? Oh, we're cutting it out.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead and ask whatever
Did
you
you
want.
see Mark Cuban? Like, didn't he pull up?
Okay, so that stuff is super exciting about working there. But that's such a waste because all of that's going to get cut out.
We
Because
can
I'm
have it on
not
a podcast.
preaching about working at.
I mean, I was interested to listen.
No, yeah.
There you go.
I'm interested to
Little-
talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, so what were we talking about before?
Living arrangements. We'll just go back to living arrangements. Okay. Living arrangements on the show.
So, now.
Okay, Alex, take it over.
No, you know me. I'm like cutting in.
Self-assured.
What?
Self-assured. That's what we were just talking about.
Katie said I'm sure of I come
sure.
across as sure of myself.
I agree.
The Hostel. Now that's not too different from Squid Games itself, right? Because I'm gonna be honest. I watched the first half. I was on vacation. I watched the first half of the reality show, the first episode, and I fell asleep, and I never really tuned back in.
I watched it.
Do you sleep in the beds, like in that big room?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you act, and so it's not just like filming. So at the end of the day, filming all day, you go back, or is it like you film that sleeping scene, but then you actually go home? Are you allowed to even say?
Yeah,
what's the NDA like?
Yeah, do you?
The NDA is over. I had to hold on to this for. We filmed in January and it didn't release till November. I couldn't tell anybody. I was telling people.
Right. Yeah.
But like that. So when we got to London, they drove us from it was just me. Like it was everybody had their own individual way
to get in the van. It's like,
was it like the show? They got the gas come out.
I did take a nap. Because I was really tired from the flight, and I was carrying my whole life with me because I had just been living in Spain for 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but you went so you're backpacking in Spain.
Yeah.
You get booked for the show. They fly you to London.
Yeah.
And then you get like picked up from the airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I'm.
Yeah. I was backpacking. Yeah. So now we're in London. I get picked up. Like it was so cool. Like I've never gotten this treatment before. It was a guy with my name on it.
That's cool.
So
that's me.
That's me.
Yeah.
I've never gotten
your
this
celebrity
before.
already.
Exactly. It was so cool, and they drove us to this really nice hotel. And for about 3 to 4 days, we had to just stay in the hotel, and we couldn't talk to anybody.
Could you explore?
No, we couldn't explore. We couldn't talk to anybody.
You just had to stay
lock you in the room?
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Like, and the only time we could leave our room was for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they would bring us down, and it was like an all-you-can-eat type of thing. You put it, and it was like a wider, to feed 452 people, so 56 people. So you would come downstairs, you would get your breakfast, eggs, sausage, fruits, whatever you wanted.
Good food?
It was all right.
Okay. It's 400 people, so it's a little...
Yeah, they gotta spread it out.
And then you would just go back up to your room.
Oh, sorry.
And luckily for me, I had my life. So I had my PlayStation, and I had comfortable clothes to wear. Other people were coming from America and Asia and Australia with just like one bag. I had everything, so I was good. And that was the same thing. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Go right back up to your room, and you stay there all night. And occasionally, the crew would come up, and they would let you outside to get some air.
That's crazy.
It's like a dog. Like taking you on a walk.
This is January 2023?
Yes. And it was cold.
Yeah.
So they would let you out, get some air, then you would go right back to your room. And even when you were outside, they would let you out with other cast members. You weren't able to talk to anybody. But, I think I talked to one girl. It was that girl, if you watch the show, that did the squat. It was her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was outside, and we talked a little bit. And everybody, you could just tell, like, everybody was just really excited to just get this going.
Yeah.
I don't want to, it was so much stuff. Like, I don't want to talk forever.
Well,
but.
Please do.
Okay, so...
Wait, so you couldn't do nothing? Like you couldn't go to the gym, the pool.
No.
You just sat in the room, watch TV, play PlayStation.
Yes.
Like, do they have TVs in the room?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's like
someone else just sitting there binging
you said like a
everything.
nice hotel room or whatever.
I was watching Squid Games and Mr. Beast to try to prepare for this.
Get in the mind.
But it's not. Whatever preparation I had went out the window. Even up to red light, green light. I had a way that I was going to go over it.
Right.
Fell apart immediately.
So who is, how would they know, like, if you're like talking to people? Is it literally like you're standing outside on the sidewalk of the hotel and the staff's
Like
all
chaperones.
around you? And so, like, they're making sure you're not talking, or?
No, they just had like one, I forget, like they were, their whole job was to make sure that we were okay and that we were comfortable and that we were in the right headspace to do the show. And it was just like one guy. And like if he sees you talking, be like, hey, you're not supposed to be talking.
Right.
So
And that's to keep it interesting, to keep everything authentic when you get on the show.
Yeah, so you're like
Exactly.
actually meeting them for the first time.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
What's
then,
the dudes with the pink suits and the guns though? Or
No, it was just the regular crew guy, and it was
That would have been awesome. That would have been so
They're
authentic.
already started.
Literally.
they were all from London, so it was just really cool. And I'm American, so like hearing the way they talk,
Right, yeah.
it was just really cool. And then the next, like our last day, we had to give all of our bags to the crew, everything that I had, give it to the crew, put a number on it. They give us our outfits, make sure you get some rest,
Wow.
and the next morning we're off really early.
How many days was it?
2 weeks.
No, in the hotel.
Like 3 to 4.
3 to 4.
4. Okay, so were you kind of salty, like sitting in there, like, dang, I'm in this, I'm in London, I can't even go explore, or were you just like tired from backpacking around?
I was I don't know, I was just really excited. Like I
Yeah.
was really determined. Like all I could care about was like, this is some life-changing money right here. Like I need to
Right. So
I
how
need
much?
to get my head
I
right
forgot
for
about
this.
that. How much is that?
$4.56 million.
Wow.
Like
Did the winner get paid? Because
She
I heard.
did.
Yeah, she
Okay,
got paid,
okay.
yeah.
'Cause I heard she hadn't gotten paid for a while.
Yeah,
well, but
that
I mean, you guys didn't know that, but we knew in our contract that we weren't going to get paid anything until the last episode aired, like
okay.
maybe a month after the last episode
Right.
aired. So that came out when they released the first part, and then she finally got her money.
Okay, good.
But
That makes sense because it's like then it kind of gives it away, right?
Yeah.
If this girl walks in, she's
Pop out with a
all this money,
Lamborghini. It's like, oh well, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know who won then, yeah.
shout out to May. If
Yeah.
you see this, I could use a couple bands.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget your friend.
right?
Yeah.
You guys talked outside. He was the one that let you have the last bacon from the hotel.
He saved that just for you. That's funny.
And yeah.
Did you get
Okay.
paid at all for being on the show? Okay, I was wondering.
The payment
Paid
was the
experience.
actually, and that was like I would do it again for no money. It was such a surreal and really, really cool experience, like from top to bottom. Like even from the showing up to the airport and the guy has my name, and they had us in this really nice hotel, and like at I believe like the second night somebody was lighting off fireworks, which is really random. It probably has nothing to do with anything, but somebody's lighting off fireworks. It's beautiful to see. In the hotel, my mind was really just focused on like how can I prepare for this game, because like this is really
Right.
happening. Like I've been looking forward to this for months, and now it's really here. Like,
Right,
tomorrow.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And I can't imagine like trying to sleep before that.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like you're.
Antsy.
I didn't even really think about that in terms of, and maybe it's because I didn't watch the show, but like it is a challenge. Like I don't know. I just feel like, you're an actor, like you're going to act whatever, but like you're going to actually do the challenge and like go through kind of the same struggles that the in the series, the
Yes.
people in the series went through.
Speaking of acting, did they ask you to be dramatic when your thing goes off?
No, that was all just
Because-
because they wanted to do it.
Okay, because that's because some people were dramatic.
I mean, when they like get shot and they're like,
Spotlight, of
Yeah.
course. It's that moment, yeah.
No, that was that, and people just they love the show, they love the experience. Everybody
Yeah.
was really happy to be there, and if they died, you might as well go out
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Go out with the
Dramatically,
cool.
yeah.
dramatically.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask about living situations again. Bathroom situation. How was that?
That
Hygiene.
okay, before we get
Oh,
to,
sorry.
okay, so you get picked up from the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm
We've
sorry.
already got over
I
this.
want to know.
Okay, what happened if you left the room? Did you get
I
shot?
got a lot of different questions.
Okay,
Which one am I
okay.
answering?
Answer mine. I'm kidding.
When you go, so it's you wake up the next morning, you give your stuff over, and now where you go?
We just all go downstairs, and this is the first, and we had to, the night before, we had to give up all our technology, our phones, and whatever technology you had brought with you. And that was the first time I really got to see everybody. So after I had my whole green fit on, number 41, we took some pictures as well for the show. That's the one you see on there. We go downstairs and we just wait for everybody to get, they count everybody out, and then they send us on this bus. And from that bus, it was about an hour trip, maybe hour and a half to this. I found out later what it was. It was like a hangar for like warships. So a really big site.
Oh.
And
See, this is an interesting question. I want to know where he
Okay,
goes.
I guess. Good job,
and
Alex.
it was. I just wish I could have taken a picture of like going there. It was so beautiful, like the sun rising on these really rustic and architecturally beautiful homes in like the outskirts of London, and it was very cold. And that's all we could wear was like one little jacket over. Before the show started, you're not there yet, but do you want me to keep going?
Yeah,
Sure, of course.
So we get to the set finally. Everybody gets off the bus. There's 4, maybe 5 different buses, and then everybody's getting, and then they bring us in to like right before the red light green light set, but we haven't seen it. But you could just see like this massive like board. The set of it, and they're giving us like bananas and just little stuff, and they put like in coffee and stuff, and they put because it was really early. You could see the dew on it was that early.
Wow.
They put our squid packs on. Those are the blood packs that you saw, and we waited for a while, and we were off. And while we were in the tents waiting for everybody to get ready, we that's where we got to meet some of the people and build relationships.
Right.
And people were strategizing. How are you going to do this? How are you going to go? Like some people are like, I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to just go like this. Some guy said he was going to crawl. I'm like, if that works.
What was your plan?
My plan was I thought I could go like if I go side to side, I thought that would work just so I could have a steady base and not move. And we'll see. I'll tell you where that plan goes later. And before we went on, they let us go outside, and it was very warm. It was like really nice out. And then we went on the set, and it was very cold, very cold. If you look at reviews, it was at least, people were saying like 30, 20 degrees. It was freezing. And before we started the game, there was like this, it was so cool. It was this like Zumba instructor, like not Zumba, but like just this guy. You know how like they have the little mic and they he went out there. He's
cycling.
We're in the. You can see the doll back there. We're on the red light, green light set, and like he's just getting everybody ready, trying to get people stretched because there's people. I think the oldest person was like 80 years old, and I was young. I was actually like the second youngest on the set, so because I was 21 at the time, and he's just getting us all ready, and then we go back out to the tents. And we wait another hour, get cold again. Nobody's really stretched. Yeah. And then we go back. It's game time. We're talking. Everybody's talking about their plan. And that song haunts me to this day. They
played that the entire time? That's crazy.
Not the entire time, but just like
enough.
when it was time to go, like that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Wasn't it like hours?
So they made it seem like it was 5 minutes, but it was really 8 hours.
I saw like people going online.
And so it was cold on the actual set. Like while you're playing the game, it's like 20 degrees cold.
And because they let us outside, we knew that they purposely made it cold. To get people out to, your legs start to get, lock up. Because it was warm outside, like I said earlier, and then when we get on the set, it's really cold. Like, so
my to get the numbers down.
My initial plan, what I'm telling everybody is I'm gonna go side to side, like I told you. I'm side to side so I can stand, right? And they gave us a practice run, and I did the practice run. And this dude pushes me in the back, and I fall.
What?
And I'm like,
I would have been it's on sight.
Bro, I said, like, straight up, if you push me again, bro, when this game starts, bro, I'm going to get up from dead, and you're going to die, too. Like, straight up. Because
there has to be some type of security or police there, right? Because I never even thought about that.
They asked people if they were
But what happens when the people start swinging on each other? Because, you push me or you trip me or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show.
Where you start making...
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go home and watch it now, because now I'm interested.
Well, we really...
There's another interesting aspect now that I have like a first-hand account of like
you're gonna be staring.
knowing before.
What we really didn't know, but what we continued to find out as the days went on and the game went on, was that there really were no rules. Like, whatever you make happen, like, I mean, there's a scene in there, I'm kind of skipping ahead. I made it past red light, green light. But that was one of the most triumphant moments in my life. But there was a scene in the show where this guy got food, and we were all starving. All people talked about was food, and we took his food.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So
burger
I was
one?
gonna ask. It is like the game, like in that moment in the show when
People were so hungry, like people were eating fries off the floor, off the dirty floor. This floor was filthy.
it's a hanger.
So why was there no food? Do they literally feed you like small, like you get
Have
an
you seen
egg
the
for
original show?
breakfast? Yes.
Yeah, I think it
it's
was
one
like-
of my favorite shows.
Yeah, it's like that when they like make people angry to try to rile stuff up. Because remember that point when they don't give people food to rile
Yes.
them up?
Yes.
Remember that episode?
Oh, where they're like short the food or
They
something.
didn't-
Yeah, and they all start fighting.
They didn't feed us an egg, but they did feed us like the worst food you could think, like boiled chicken just straight in a metal pan, or boiled white chicken, unseasoned, very dry, or rice. Like they show the rice and the egg, which looks seasoned, and I'm sure like the fans thought, oh, they're eating good in there.
Yeah.
No.
No, it was so bad, but it gets to the point where you're like, I miss the hotel food.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
so hungry.
You're like, dang, I shouldn't have give up that bacon to that one chick.
Because it was all you could eat, so I would just get as much food as I can. And
They did that on purpose.
And
They
then
got
put it
you
back
used
out.
to eat it.
Yeah, right.
And then when we get in here, like they're feeding you, like the guards will just come out. You don't know when you're gonna eat. They just come out and they give you food. And it got to the point where I was eating other people's food because for some reason they just weren't eating. I'm like, okay, shoot, I'll eat your food.
There was that one guy who like stole someone's food.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
really, I didn't see him do that, but that was really when I was like, oh, there's no rules to this. Like we
Yeah.
really could have
Yeah.
been doing whatever.
But at that point, I was like, okay, I am gonna win. Like,
Let me. I want to tell you guys about red light, green light. And
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
me your questions
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we could get to the other stage. So red light, green light was so hard. We didn't know. They didn't tell us that it was going to be that long. So after the practice run, the guy didn't push me this time. He learned his lesson. I tried to go for the middle. I didn't want to go for the front because I felt like if you're in the front, somebody's going to push you. If you're in the back, you're going to be too far back. So I tried to go for the middle, and like I said, I wanted to go like this, but I ended up just running like a regular person. And the song stopped, and I was in like a mid position like this. And I thought, okay, this isn't too bad. I'm in a good position. But then 5 minutes went by, and then 10 minutes went by, and then my arms started to shake.
OMG.
it's cold.
And this is so they can get all the shots of people.
Yes. And it's cold.
oh, because they need to get a
people
shot
frozen
of
like that.
everyone.
Yeah. And it's cold, and my legs, they're starting to shake because I'm just standing.
And even better if you're like shaking, right?
Yeah.
Because then it's like that just
Yes.
adds to the factor of, you're standing there shaking because it's been 15 minutes and you're freezing cold, but the people at home think, oh, like he's just frozen and he's losing his balance.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my next
They
position.
planned this
They
out.
really.
They planned this out.
They really did. You really did.
I
It's-
did think it was crazy because while watching it, like, as you keep going or whatever, there was people like laying on the ground when you would like pause, and I was like, why are they on the ground? Get up. But then I saw the TikToks and I was like, oh yeah, they're like, yeah, I fell asleep, I did whatever during that time.
Just so you know, I started that wave. I made a lot
There
of
you
people
go,
survive.
trend starter.
They didn't put that in there, but I started that trend because after the second position, I was like this. And like just holding your arms out like this, if you try it, like it's after 15 minutes, it's gonna be hard to just hold your arms in that position and not move. And it was so scary because when people would pop next to you or die, you want to look,
Yeah.
or you want to look and see if it's you. But you would kind of do one of those,
Oh,
my gosh.
and you just didn't know like how much you can move. And by like the fourth round of that, after the second round, I just dove straight on the floor, and that was the most comfortable thing ever because my legs couldn't take it anymore. I would have folded.
Yeah.
And there was this old dude next to me, and he was really shaking. I'm like, get on the ground, like lay on the ground. And then after the next go, everybody just like
I'm not telling everybody my strategy.
on the right side. But I had connected with these people. They seemed like real friends, and I knew how hard it was because I was in it. So I wanted to.
And you're the young one too.
Exactly, and I wanted to build allies. People would remember me if I helped them out.
Yeah.
This game is
There's
strategy
so
also.
much stuff going on. And so you're playing that game for 8 hours straight.
Yes.
Of go and then stop and then
Yes.
wait 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
People were passing out.
That's
like
crazy.
16 people passed out.
I bet because trying to stand.
Yeah, do you get water during that 8 hours?
No.
That's crazy. They're like walking
"What?
around
Have you been
squirting water in
listening?"
people's mouth. I was like, maybe.
And it was so cold, like they knew it was gonna be cold. Like they gave us like heat warmers. So if you watch the show again, you'll see people with their hands in their pockets, and they're really holding on to like the hand warmers.
Yeah, sure.
Because like that was the only thing. And if your hand was out, it was so cold. Like what? And like I said, I was on the ground, and like I was on the ground like this, and my hands were out. They were freezing, and like there was a snot droplet that was just coming out of my nose.
No, that's what got me. That's what would have gotten me.
It's like
I'm
no
like, you know what?
close-ups, no
You're like,
close-ups.
I'm trying to do that, and it's like a snot droplet, and it just and I can't do anything else but just let it go, and it just goes, and it just hits the ground, and now I got a string of snot,
and that's where the cameraman's like,
Like, look,
just
y'all see
doing
that?
it.
Y'all see that?
and
Hey, get number 41. He's got some snot going down his face.
and imagine that position. Like if you're like I had to be very strategic in that 15 minutes. Like
Right.
people were thinking like you would get bored. You just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that's what I did. Or think about my family, think about friends, think about good memories. Why I'm
You're
here.
about to die.
Why I'm here, like I like no pain, no gain. And I had to pee 3 hours in. So it just got like the effects just keep getting worse. I'm cold, my legs hurt. When I keep diving on the ground, scraping my knees. And I'm nervous. I don't want to lose. I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way I can go out
And
in
it's
the first round.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was just like the people. My boy Teo, he made it first. Lucky him, because he just ran. But me with my strategy of running and diving, running and diving. After the beginning, I ended up being in the back. I
Right.
made it on the last 10 seconds. Like if you watch the show, you can see me behind I believe her name's like Leanne, the older woman. You can see me celebrate because I was like, I was so happy. Like it was just so much joy, like to know that I made this after I think 200 people got out in that game. To know that I made it past this and that I did it and I beat that stupid doll and I can finally go pee. It was just so many good moments like to feel. I was so happy, but that cost me a lot because when I did that, and you can see it on screen, I lost my voice. So I sounded like this for the rest of the show. But
You must have been happy.
bro, when I tell you, I was so ecstatic. Like, and people are crying. Their faces are red. Their lips are super chapped, which becomes a problem later in the show because they ended up. I'll let you get to it. But that's red light, green light, and then after red light, green light, they took us. They made sure that everybody made it. That they made it. They eliminated everybody else, and then they sent us to the dorms, and that's where it started.
I forgot what I was gonna ask.
So wait, I have one thing. So
You want to ask your question?
go
Or
ahead.
do you want to go? I'm sorry.
You can
No,
go.
we need you for every episode because most of the time it's just
We talk on
shut
top.
up, Katie. I'm asking a question.
literally.
We all yell at each other. We're trying to be polite with you guys.
Yeah, we're trying to be on our best behavior, but
Right.
we're animals.
So you would play the game and it would be like 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then would the music just start back up again without any warning? Or like the music starts and you go, right, during the music. So then it would stop. It would go like 30 minutes while you guys were just sitting there. And then when it just start back up again without any warning, you have to be ready.
The doll would
Yeah.
turn. You would keep
I think
your
they
eyes.
say green light or red light.
No,
No,
No.
It's based off the music.
it was just off the music.
The music plays and then you go. And then the music stops and you can't move while the music stopped.
It was really like what you could really do. Well, what I did was I would watch the doll when she would turn her head. As soon as she would turn her head back, like the music has to line up. But sometimes it'd be like a second or two off. Those are major seconds. So like as soon as the doll turned her head, I'm.
Yeah, but you have to pay attention for like the whole 20 minutes,
Yes.
just waiting for it to turn ahead because they don't tell you. It just does it.
And they had
Like
this
that.
stupid drone to get like a footage, and it was already cold. If the drone would
above
just sit
you?
over you for like 5 minutes and just make you even more colder than you already were. It was
Okay, so
many
I have a few
factors.
questions about the production aspect. The head turning, is it like actually animatronic thing, or is it someone
It
is
was
it
just
manual?
like the show.
Just like the show,
Just like the real one.
And the gunshots, are those, because when I watch the show, I'm like, they have snipers up there or whatever, and it's made to
Okay,
look
you
like
need
it's
to watch
coming.
the show because it's a pack that's like on that
Yeah,
they're wearing.
when
Like
I-
I said, he
the
has an
squid
explosive
pack.
pack.
It's you're wearing it.
I thought those got shot with like a paintball
That's
and
what a
then
lot
it
of people
explodes.
That's what I thought at first too. Yeah.
No.
It is,
You can
were
kind
they
of
like
later.
just sensors, so when you move, they would just explode?
I'm sure there's someone
There's
with
probably
control.
someone
when
manually.
they would wait the 20 to 30 minutes, it's called the adjudication process, and they would basically your thing would just explode because it was like from a control center,
Oh, okay.
and they would individually watch everybody and see if they moved.
Did you have to wear those packs during like
crazy.
when you were like in the dorms?
No,
Only for games.
they eliminated people in other ways. So
Oh, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die during the while you're sleeping.
Well, no, there's like the
Well,
strategy.
you can get
game.
eliminated
Yeah.
in the while you're
Yeah.
like sleeping or whenever. That's crazy. It sounds like it'd be fun. No offense, but it sounds like it'd be fun to be like one of the producers. Like imagine, I just imagine like
Just watching everyone else.
a green room with all these cameras, and you're like, he moved, and it's like,
Boom. He's been here for 7.5 hours.
put the drone over 41. And I bet you that's what it sounded like too. Put the drone over the
Be
grandpa.
like he's on his
he looks like he's
last
about
leg.
to give out.
Like
Yeah.
put the drone right there.
oh yes.
It's hard to believe this stuff was like legal. It sounds kind of torturous, to be honest.
That's
I
why-
know there's like controversy. We'll get into that, but that it seems like just like not real.
Yeah, I mean, it's $4 million. You know, they
Yeah.
had to make it tough. And when, skipping ahead, because I didn't answer that bathroom
Sure.
question, but
Go
I'm waiting
it's
for that.
all. It's your podcast, my man. Just answer whatever you want.
it was, like, I do think they purposely we're going to mess with him. We're going to keep the drone
Right.
over him. Like, in one, like, I don't even know where I was going. It was so tough. But you guys go ahead.
Okay, so what's the bathroom question?
Okay, I have bathroom situation.
Were there bathrooms?
And also the chapstick situation. Were you like, it's like you guys they had condoms, right?
Yeah.
And people were using like as chapstick because they didn't provide you with chapstick. So what did they provide you with? Bathroom situation? Your experience with the condom chapstick?
So the bathroom was interesting. It was very interesting, and you could definitely tell this is a Netflix production. Like just from Red Light Green, like this is a huge set. And then seeing the dorms and everything, you go in the bathroom. You know, you could just go wherever. I just wish I could experience it one more time. But the bathrooms had cameras in them. The toilets had cameras in them. The showers had cameras in them.
The showers?
And it was
Yeah, they didn't want y'all messing around
and
with
it was
showers.
all shared between men and women. So you would share the same shower with the woman if you were a man, and vice versa.
At the same time?
At the same time, not like this, but like there'd be like regular shower, like
right,
the
yeah,
YMCA.
And the condoms are.
They had condoms in there, they had razors in there, and they only had underwear. We wore the same underwear and socks. We wore the same jackets and t-shirts the whole show.
Wait, they
And people
provided
are-
condoms?
People are
Condoms.
allowed to have like sex and stuff.
They were. I mean, I was too focused on the money. I don't know.
People were having sex?
Where?
Perhaps,
Where?
but
Bathroom. That's the only
That's what the camera's for?
or in their beds.
Or
You
in
think
the
in the
bed.
beds?
In that
Possibly.
big space with everyone just...
If you were trying to smash with $4.5 million on the line, you need to leave, like straight up, in my opinion. 'Cause
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
It's
you're
not a
doing-
dating show. Sorry.
And that's crazy because there's people always watching.
I mean,
even
exactly.
just in the cameras, let alone the
Yeah,
people
Netflix has your
around
sex
you.
tape now.
But I mean, nighttime vision where like they. Okay.
I mean, I've seen Jersey Shore. I've
right. Yeah. yeah.
people
Get crazy,
are gonna
get
get
loud.
it in where they can.
And you got to be careful because what if someone approaches you and you reject them and they're like, bet I'm going to get you out next round or something like that.
I mean, people definitely had problems with people. I had problems with people. But to answer your question, people. So from red light, green light, it was so cold. Like I said, their lips were getting like extremely chapped. The less fortunate, mine were okay.
Oh, lucky.
But people like Danny, my friend Danny, she was the first person that did it, and they were calling her the condom girl because like she just took a condom and was just getting the lube off of there and just putting it on her lips. And one guy did it, and he had a really bad reaction, like, and he had to leave the show. My boy JD, or
It's like
maybe
allergic to
he
latex
didn't.
or something.
Something was going on with his lips. But he had to leave the show. He's a really cool dude. My guy JD, look, he's in Los Angeles. And they eventually, like the crew, they seen this and they gave us like little canisters of Vaseline.
I was about to say, I'm surprised that they didn't realize that was it. Because, I mean, you don't...
I
The show's the show.
Me too.
The show's
But
the
I guess
show,
that's not
but
something
you don't
they
want
do,
the entire... Everyone on the show to have, like, a big ring around them. Like...
It was to the, I mean, like, it was really like a social experiment. Like, it was so, and you could tell, because, like, they just didn't know everything that can happen. They didn't know
Right,
that.
yeah.
They didn't know that people were going to crawl in red light, green light, and they didn't know that people's lips were going to get super chapped to the point of bleeding, that they were desperate enough to put that stuff on their lips. So, just testing stuff out, and it was amazing.
This is a Netflix original, but I can't imagine, like, there's all these different precautions, especially after COVID. There's health and safety people on set. There's HR people. Like, they have to, is some, like, moral compass to it, like, legally. Okay, you're shaking.
They're both shaking their heads.
They're shaking
Moral
their
compass
heads. No.
for that big corporation.
A moral, yeah.
But
What?
that's what would make me think that it would be. Like, that you would... Netflix has... You cannot tell me that with all those different Netflix shows, all those different Netflix originals, they have production people that are there to oversee it. Now,
Nothing.
They
maybe
also
that's
have lawyers to see
maybe
Not
that's
for
what
reality
they...
TV.
They have lawyers to see exactly how much they can get away with legally. And without
I've heard a
getting in
lot.
trouble.
Filming Stranger Things is a lot different than reality TV.
Yeah.
I've seen TikToks about, what is it, Love is Blind or Love Island, or whatever, where they're feeding you alcohol from 6 a.m. to 6
sounds
p.m. And, right, yeah.
He's like, sign me up for that show.
So, I mean, I don't know how much you saw, like, behind the scenes of,
Seen a
like,
lot.
you're walking through a hallway and you see, like, production stuff and
I
just
mean,
backstage.
we stayed in the dorms predominantly. The only times that you would leave is if you were to do an interview, or if you had like a health concern. Like I had lost my voice in the first game, and I was really trying to get it back because, like, who's gonna want to hear me sound like this?
Yeah.
Like it was really bad, and I was very upset. But they kept trying to give me lozenges and stuff.
So did you go to the health people?
Yeah, I did. And it didn't do anything. It didn't change. And of course, my voice comes back like maybe a day after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, we are not going up based
I
off
was
the
gonna
script.
say.
Whatever. Can I tell you right now? I'm like in the game right
Yeah,
now. Like,
yeah.
you are such a vivid like
I know, I
storyteller.
can picture it perfectly.
I'm like there with you. This is so.
No, literally, I'm
Okay.
picturing it perfectly. I'm just matching like him
And-
talking from like the original show because I haven't seen the.
See, I
haven't
can
seen,
picture both.
I haven't seen the what's it called? The
Reality
show.
show.
Yeah, but I saw the original show. I'm just matching that with what you're saying. I feel like I'm getting a really good picture.
I'm telling you, this week's episode is going to be delayed because I'm going home and watching the Squid Games show.
Okay,
Love.
you survived the cookie challenge, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, what was your shape?
I had the star.
This dang,
Okay.
that's
Did you
pretty
lick it?
hard.
I did. I like, because that's another thing. We were before we did that, and I love that. I love that so much because they played it on the screen for us, and it allowed us to see how they're shooting us, like with a Netflix 4K camera, like.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, this gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And that was such a, just going backwards, that was a very tense moment for us, because we didn't know what we were getting in line for. And when you guys watch the show, there's people that go into a room and they have to decide amongst themselves within 2 minutes of what shape their whole line is going to get.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic. And shout out to my guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he didn't go, basically. He didn't go. Because our team, our line was going to get stuck with the umbrella, and that's a death sentence. And he was just like, no. And then they got eliminated, and the next people go up. And I was like, I think like 4 away from being in the front of the line. And you said, did I spit on it? So we were waiting in, so the circle went first, and then the triangle went second, and then star came. And that was about 5 hours of waiting in that white room. You'll see it. We were waiting in that room for 5 hours. I took a nap. But, we're talking to everybody in our line, and we're trying to strategize a plan because we've really, we have nothing to do but talk to each other in the dorms, and get to know each other and get to make friends. And we just did a lot of fun stuff. Just played children's games. Like we were playing
Summer camp, yeah.
Exactly. We were playing Duck Duck Goose in there. Like me and my friend, we put together a ball of underwear and socks, and we played soccer. We played bowling with our water bottles. Me and this other girl, we put together. We got everybody's jackets together. They didn't put it in the show. They really should have. We got everybody's jackets together. Not everybody, but as much as we needed. And from one side of the set to the other, we set up a net. And then like it's a volleyball game with like 60 people.
That's crazy.
And it was just so cool to see, and like really, I'm here. Playing catch for hours, talking about food. We really got connected with these people, so we're strategizing, making a plan so we get through with them. And I was just biting my cheeks the whole time. And I was having, and like I said, I took a nap. I was having nightmares. Like,
Really?
like I took a nap on the floor. And I got woken up like this and just hopped up like I was and forgot. Yes. And I had forgot that I was there. Like I was in my dream, and it was just like terrifying.
I don't know, man. I think I'd went out.
Yeah. But I was just biting my cheeks, trying to save up as much spit as possible, because I knew from watching the show that that's what you got to do. And when I got to the star, I actually thought that it was pretty easy.
Really?
A lot of star made it through. I think they didn't expect that. That's why when you watch the show, they only show maybe one person from star, but they show circle, triangle, and umbrella.
I would have figured triangle would be the easiest.
Yeah, because of the corners.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you have a shape you wanted going in?
Circle?
Circle you wanted?
Yeah, because
I feel like I would
think
want
that'd be-
triangle.
that's a straight way through.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more.
Yeah.
You need the like hard edges.
You need the corners.
Yeah, the corner.
to pop out.
Just to snap off. Umbrella would be.
Umbrella.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for
Can
you
you
guys.
eat the cookie?
Oh, we'll get there.
Because I would have ate around.
So I did the star, and I was licking it just like he did on the show, just licking the back, and I'm going at it. I'm talking to people next to me. How you doing? How's it going? Like we're just constant communication. How's it going? And you got friends that you've really connected with, and they're just dying all the way over there.
Yeah.
And that was the saddest part, when you would finish a game and then come back to the dorm and they're not there. Somebody that was just your buddy or your ally is just gone. And you don't even know if you can speak to them or talk to them again. So that was just so tough. But I was just so locked in, and and then my thing, what I learned is I spit on top of the cookie, like on the outline, and that kind of like from the licking the back and getting the outline wet, like it made it so much easier to just go straight through. And I maybe had like 30 seconds left, and then I finally did it, and the guard came over. I'm like, I did it. He's like, and then I get up and I go out and they take us back to the dorm, and that cookie was not the best, but it was the best because I put it in my pocket. And I kept it until I went back to the dorm, because they would give us literally porridge. Like if you ever had porridge, London porridge, literally the worst oatmeal you could think of. Sometimes it would be watery, soupy oatmeal. Ugh. And everybody thought I was a genius. Because I kept my cookie. I kept my cookie, and I would just break off a piece every day and put it in my oatmeal.
That little tiny cookie?
It was like that big.
Yeah, it looks pretty big.
I mean, no, I think that's genius too. To sweeten it up, that makes a lot of sense. But that's crazy to think, like, because in the show I'm like, that cookie's take me 2 bites. It's like a communion.
But I would have, even if it did take me 2 bites, I would have saved it, because like.
Yeah.
When I tell you the food was a -40, it was so bad. So bad.
So with like the cookie game, what do the cameras look like? Are there cameramen walking around? Are they up higher and they're zoomed in down on you? Like, how does that work?
I mean, there was the director and a camera guy, and I'm a film guy, so it was really cool. Like I had never seen like a gimbal this high tech. It was like attached to his body, and all he had to do was just, and it would get whatever shot he wanted. And the guards, they had like GoPros on them that would film. They would, and that was really cool to see too. Like and inspiring, honestly.
Yeah.
To see this high level production and to see like the crew, they were pretty young and they would talk to us sometimes, and we had no sense of time. Sometimes they would let us outside, and the only way that we would get sense of like 'cause they would let us out, we would see them check their phones, and then they would come back in the dorms and be like, okay, it's 3 p.m. right now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I feel like that kind of ruins it.
Just not knowing what day it is, when it is, how long you've been there is crazy.
Yes. And
go ahead.
Every morning they would wake us up. I forget. I don't to classical music, like, and they'd be like, "Players, it's time to wake up now." And they would turn the lights on, and you just have to get up because you would hear people talking and running around and trying to stretch every morning because the beds they were solid. They were all right. They were pretty bad, honestly.
Like
actually,
dorm beds, like at IU, kind of like that.
Little worse.
I would want to be the what do they call it, like the front man or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to be. How do I get that? Where do I play for that?
Torture people you don't play.
Yes.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Okay, reality TV, the drama, is it actually as dramatic as like they make it out to be on camera? Like the rivals, all that stuff. Did you see that firsthand, or is it dramatized?
I think they did a really good job of like building stories. Like, because just being in it, you don't really, like, I was excited to watch the show myself because I wanted to see what other people, what devious things they do. Because I didn't know he took food. I just talked to him during the show. I didn't hear anything about that, So I just wanted to find out about that. I think they did a really good job with dramatizing the show and, trying to build stories, and the characters that they had, not the characters, the people that they had, that they got on the show were actually, interesting. Like, you guys will see 432. Yeah. He was honestly a piece of work.
I literally have 432 drama.
Yeah.
299's breakdown.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
Me and him.
That's umbrella guy.
Me and him were the youngest on the show, so initially.
Yeah, 432. He was a college student, right?
Yeah, he dropped out of Clemson to do the show, which I thought was crazy. But that's
he
his
dropped
life.
out.
Yeah,
taking a sabbatical.
That's crazy.
I luckily was able to email my professors, let them know what I'm doing. Thank God the IU professors let them know what I'm doing. And while I was in Spain and while I was in the hotel, I was just doing my work over winter break. And I was taking this intro to fiction class, intensive writing, and she made me read The Hobbit. I really don't like The Hobbit. I really don't. But I had to read it, and it was just we were cool at first. I really just thought he was, a brash guy, very honest with what he's saying. But he just, can I cuss?
Yeah,
sure.
He just talked a lot of shit. Like he just talked a lot of shit. And that was really who he was. Like, he's gonna say how he felt. We kind of had a beef in the beginning, but I sat him down. I'm like, yo, bro, do we have a problem? And we went over. We had a conversation, and he was just like, "That's who I am. I'm not gonna change for anybody," and I could respect that. And from there, we were cool. But yeah, he was a piece of work, and I can understand why a lot of people didn't like him. I saw him as a threat too, honestly, because he was younger, but turns out you got to watch the older people because that's who made it to the end. But I thought he was a threat too. I thought he was he could. I thought he had plot armor because his number was the name of the character, so I thought he'd make it farther than he did. Yeah. But yeah, cool guy. Who is 299?
That's the guy who cried about the umbrella. That guy. The one that became like the biggest meme on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a video?
I could probably find a video of his breakdown.
Yo. Oh gosh. You may wait for the video.
You can go ahead.
That, you guys are going to see it. I thought that was so funny.
It was, I watched this with my family. Oh, which one? Let's watch this. And my dad was like, this is not real. Like, there was no way he was doing it.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
They say they're games, but they're not.
No, it was so tense. Like, I don't even think that's a fake reaction.
Right, yeah.
It was so tense. Like, you have $4 million riding on a cookie.
Yeah.
And he just sold his whole team.
Yeah, and he was the one who did the
Oh, so
picking.
someone breaks the whole teams out?
No. He had to pick the shape, so he was feeling guilty, I think. I don't know.
But,
He's
you know,
dramatic.
I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, you know, all respect to him. But I will say from my perspective, because I was in the line over and I was kind of farther up in the line, I was able to see him. And when it was 4-3-2, which you'll meet when you watch the show, he's a brash guy and he's very honest about his feelings. He's not somebody that's going to be pushed easily. And I seen that dude. And they show his face in the show, and it was so funny seeing it again. Because it was all in my memory from January.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and he
That's
was...
all the way to November. Like, you're still thinking, like, it's just a memory until you see, that I get it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I could just look at him red, and I was like, yo, bro, he's over there crying. Like, he's about to fold. Like, he was like... Like, just taking a bunch of deep breaths, and his whole, like, line is trying to, like, comfort him and be like, don't. And everybody was just like, don't let 4-3-2 push you. Don't let him... Don't let him goad you in it doing anything. And he told us all to spit on somebody. He said spit on someone else's cookie, which is you're not allowed to help other people. But he didn't know that, so he picked Umbrella thinking that he could get help.
Oh.
And that you just seen he got out. It was just like wow. You know, I thought it was really funny because I knew like our line was gonna be cool. We're not gonna get Umbrella because that guy is gonna fold for sure.
That's wild.
Yeah.
While you're in the other, right, because you're in all those different shapes are in separate rooms, right? You all film at different times. That's what.
Yes.
Okay, so while you're waiting, is it like in the show, like where if you're in a different spot, you hear over the announcements like player 299 eliminated, or they're not that detailed? You know what I mean?
No, we ended up finding when you got back to the dorm, they were showing the big screen who got eliminated.
Oh,
I think it would have been cool if you're just messing with your stuff and you just hear your best friend got eliminated in the other room.
Right.
You didn't even get to say bye.
That's how they did the next game. That's how they did the next game.
Now I haven't seen it, which I wish I did watch it, but now
Me too.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much as I'm going to now. The background, but fuck, why do I keep forgetting?
I don't know.
What I was gonna ask.
Is there
It's gonna be
another
good.
game between this and Battleship?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Do they do a new game that you don't know about because it wasn't in the original show?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, are you? Do you want to go there first? Because there were things that happened in between.
That's what I was about to ask. Do the in between because Battleship is when
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, we're just in the dorm chilling, and they ended up bringing out the food. They brought out a phone, and the dude answers the phone, and they brought out, like, McDonald's, 2 cheeseburgers, and fries. I haven't seen good food, in so long. Like, and because I was living in Spain, I haven't had, like, a cheeseburger in a minute.
Right, yeah.
So, like, it's even more enticing, and, like, soon as they brought the food out, like I seen one hand go in, and I had to get me some too. I came out with about 6-7 fries. They were cold and salty. Ooh, it was so good compared to the food I had been eating. And people were eating fries off the floor. And Jada, you'll see her in the show. She's real. Blessings to you. She ended up giving me like half of the burger. It was so good. And I don't know if my animal instincts had kicked in, but like when she gave me the burger, I like took it and like ran under the
You like go hide under the bed. That's crazy.
Exactly what I did.
Yeah, because someone would have taken it.
It really shows true like humanity, but like you say like the goods when you were talking earlier about how you guys like made games and like tied together stuff, like all people really just like we're still kids at heart. Like when put in difficult situations, like we find ways to get through it or whatever. But then there's also the other side of like, I'm gonna go like hide under this rock and eat my cheeseburger and like don't get close.
I felt
to
like
me.
an animal. Like I was actually kind of disappointed in myself. Like, am I really like this over a cheeseburger? A half of a cheeseburger? Like, I literally took that burger and ran under the beds and, like, just hunched down and just ate it like that. And then, like, after I was like, I just didn't know. Like, am I going to get eliminated for that? Like, did I really just go crazy over some food? Because I didn't know what people were getting eliminated for. I didn't know that there really were no rules. I didn't know that we could go up and just get... I didn't know that we could just go up and go get a second plate and the guards wouldn't say anything, you know? So it was just so much unknown.
That's crazy. I imagine, like, I wonder what the casting was like for the guards, like... You know, because obviously they probably had questions too of like, what are what are we supposed to do? What are we, because they have
how
to
much
more
you
than
let these
you
people
guys.
fight.
They actually have to stick to a role.
Yeah.
You get to be whatever you like, whatever your natural reaction is. They might, see someone steal food from an old lady or whatever, and they have to know like you don't react to that. They're allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah, and then the phone rang again, and this is my claim to fame. So I was really enticed to go answer this phone because I was starving. So I ran up, and then the same guy that had answered the phone before, I didn't really like him very much. He ran up, and I ran up. And then, like, he got closer, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. Because, like, everybody was saying, like, they don't say names. Like, I don't think they say anybody's names in the show. Or, like, they kept people's voices that said numbers. And they were just like, everybody was like, Jastin, no, don't get the phone, don't pick up the phone. So I ran away, and I went to go, like, talk to my friends. And then, like, he just tried to convince people to answer the phone, otherwise he was going to be eliminated. But he just stood there. I'm kind of ruining it for you guys. But
It was good.
I'm like confused, but I'm intrigued.
So apparently, so is it that?
No. I don't want to
Okay,
be spoiled for me.
I get it. I understand. But keep going.
I'm like, phone. This wasn't.
He's
in
trying
the
to
show.
trick people.
Yeah, and he was just trying to convince people, and nobody was going. But you'll see.
But you're saying you almost at
But his
first
friend saved him.
you were tempted to do it.
Yeah, I was very
because you were
tempted.
desperate for food.
Bro, literally, like, I would just like. I tried to.
I probably would have felt
like I said,
I'd have been like, I'll take 2 cheeseburgers.
like I said, I wanted to make allies. So, and everybody was cool. Everybody was genuine. They were all like trying to do, like, they got on the show for a reason. Nobody was boring. My biggest, like, my first thing I would say to my icebreaker, that's what I'm thinking of. My icebreaker would be, so what are you going to eat when you get out of here?
It's like jail.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's what they say in jail, right?
Yes. And food was just so much on my mind.
So what was the first thing that you ate when you got out of there?
What was it? Well,
Probably not like something great because you're
No, it
still
was
in
great.
lunch. Oh, what?
it was
okay.
great because we had been. They knew what they did to us. So when it was your time to leave the show, they got you out of there quick, and they would put you on a bus, and this bus was literally full of snacks, Swiss rolls and oatmeal cream pies and chocolate bars and all types of just super sweet whatever you wanted, and we were just going crazy. And then they took you back to the hotel, and we had to have a meeting with a therapist. A group meeting with a therapist.
I was about to say,
That's
bet.
crazy.
A group meeting with a therapist. And from there, after our meeting with the therapist, we went to, they gave us some pizza. The pizza was so good. Oh my gosh. Because, like, tasting garbage food to good food, it was like just such a switch up. And to finally take a shower and put on my own clothes, like, it just felt.
Yeah. That's. And how long were you in there? Well, do you even know, like, days-wise? Did you ever do the math, like, when you got back out of, like, okay, I went in on this date, and I lasted this long?
I think about 5 days.
Okay.
5 to 6.
5 long days, I'm sure.
Yes, because you have no sense of time.
Right.
So you're just really doing whatever, and it was very strenuous. The bed isn't very comfortable, and it was very strenuous on the body. That first game really broke a lot of people down, like from their lips to their legs.
You got a stuffy nose now, and
yes.
What was the group therapy like? What did they ask? Was like, tell me about what you just went through or whatever.
It was really just like to snap us back to reality. He was just like, he was a really nice guy, and there was a woman there too, and they were just like, you're not. You guys got to realize you're not. You're not on the show anymore. You guys got to come back to earth, and you guys got to try to journal. Take some time to just meditate and really get into sorts with yourself. We know that you've been through a lot. We know that, what just happened was, it could have been disappointing or it could have been exciting, but, you just gotta, come back and you gotta reach out to your family and your friends and, just try to get reacclimated with life because, that was a whole, and it was so cool because, like, it just made me think, like, when will I ever be in a place where nobody is on social media? Nobody's using technology, not listening to music, not watching a movie. Like, it's just straight, genuine human, And coming back out into the world, I think, it can be shocking and daunting. But I think that really helped. It did get heated. Me and 432 had some words because he was talking and
this is in therapy.
In therapy.
Oh boy. They're like, hey, get the cameras in.
We're not done. They're not done.
They weren't like
Squid
that.
Game aftermath.
And the therapist was just like, calm down, bring it back down. You're not on the show anymore. You guys are. Because, like I said, I ran over and I was eating a sandwich I was an animal.
Right.
And I was just like survival instincts, just food. I'm eating other people's food. I'm just trying to do whatever I can do to keep my mind sane. There's nothing to do. Like, there's a scene where we spin the bottle to decide who is going to clean because we had to do chores. And why I've never seen so many people excited to clean the bathroom. Like, literally. And luckily I got to clean. I get
I was so fortunate to clean.
Yes,
Right. It's something to do. You get to leave that space.
Right.
Yes, exactly. That was exactly that. But the therapy was cool and the food was great because we got to eat after. And that was when we got to explore London and we got to, really put on some nice clothes and take a nice shower. They put us in this really, really nice hotel.
Did they pay for all that?
Yeah, they paid for all that. They paid for all the food we had. We could get a meal from a chef. And it was just a very switch up from the life that I've lived even for the past 7 months, because coming from Spain, I've been away from my family. I've been trying to support myself. I have to speak Spanish in order to get groceries, in order to get around. So it was very different, to be catered to and to be able to finally explore London and just feel that whole vibe. I loved it so much. Amazing.
I wonder if they were if part of that was making sure that no one was suicidal or anything. Did you get those vibes of because people obviously. You never know. People could go in there thinking this is my last shot at it.
Exactly.
This is I'm gonna win or whatever, and then
you
they
see
get
those
eliminated.
videos of people who are broke go in trying to get that $100. So this is my last. If I don't do this, I lose my house. I lose my kid.
Oh my gosh.
All that stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think that the therapy was important. And the care team, they were so helpful, and they were. They seemed like they actually cared about us, and they made us feel like we were safe and that they would help us out if we need be. So I think they did a really good job on that part.
That's very nice.
It's such an interesting line between these people need to struggle because that's the reality of the show, that's the game, and that's what gives the genuine content or whatever. And also okay, but this is 2023 and we
if we
aren't gonna torture people.
Exactly.
And,
even though they did.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if we kind of let this go without at least trying to seem like we care, then that's gonna mess us up.
Netflix is honestly genius. I'm sure obviously the jackpot cost $4 million.
Yeah.
And the set, I'm sure, was incredibly expensive, and the production was incredibly expensive. But in terms of you guys didn't get paid unless you won, and they also like made you clean the bathrooms.
Yeah, literally.
Fed
wanted
you
to
chicken.
clean the
That's all they could
bathroom.
afford. That's all they could afford is the boiled chicken.
That's
Yeah, I've never like just the experiences were just something that I don't think anybody could ever experience, because there's no technology, there's no talk to my mom, talk to my sister, talk to my family. It's just straight, you're surrounded by 300 people that you don't know, that you've never met, and they're from all over the world. And they're bringing their games, they're bringing their culture. Like my Australian friends, it was so funny hearing how they talk and what they
I
what
love
they
us
say.
people from Australia.
Yeah,
I've run into them on campus, and it's just yes. I want to listen to like you. I just want you to do a podcast with me or something.
Invite 'em on.
Be my personal DJ.
Yeah.
Next up, we got.
They're just a vibe, and from the show, like we're trauma bonded for life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I have, luckily I now have friends all over the world, people who I can talk to, people I can relate to, go back on memories with, that went through the same thing. It was just, like, I know I keep, like, doing that,
Yeah.
but, like, I just keep remembering,
it's
like,
once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And to talk about that, like, to your grandkids or whatever. It's kind of, I was going to say, it's kind of like Black Mirror-ish, though, because I remember being on vacation, being like, with my girlfriend at the time, being like, oh, like, that Squid Games live came out. And I was like, do you want to watch it? Or, not right now. And just, we, like, skipped it or whatever. I'm like, I might add it to my list. And it's like, dude, hundreds of people like struggled for hours at a time, like just for the sake of entertainment. Like obviously there's something in it for you guys, like trying to get the money, but like other than that, it's literally just for entertainment. It's for profit, and Netflix is a corporation, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's for entertainment for other people that are just like the reality is people are getting off of work, eating dinner, Chinese takeout, they're flipping through. And, oh, this looks interesting or whatever. And your 5 minutes of, or your 8 hours of struggling, whatever, is like 5 minutes to them on the TV of red light, green light.
Yes, like I seen so many people talking about like, oh, she can't do a squat. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's not that hard. Well, try holding a squat for 30 minutes.
Literally, while it's freezing.
While it's cold. And, that's why she had her hands in her pockets. But, yeah, it just... We had an experience, and people will never be able to fully see like what it was. They can only see like the most entertaining aspects.
Yeah.
They don't really get all the conversations, all the stuff we had to do.
That's what I was going to ask earlier. I was going to say, that's what I forgot about earlier, and it's like such a important question to me. Were you guys mic'd up the whole time? Because okay, so like the producers are... They see you guys congregating and like having a conversation over. They're able to tap in and listen to that, record it, and then if it's something worthwhile putting in the show, that's when they put it in.
They recorded everything.
Okay.
There were
like you said, in the bathroom.
Cameras
in the bathroom.
everywhere, and from a person that knows film, like these are some really high tech cameras. And we had to wear our mics. The only time we took them off was to go to sleep or to get in the shower. Otherwise, you kept your mic on at all times. And they listen to every conversation about anything. And, maybe after like day 3, people are starting to get more personal about what they talk about.
Do you kind of forget that you're being recorded?
Yeah. And I don't know who was using those condoms, but I don't
Right.
think your head was in the right space if you were.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, make sure you keep the mic on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so cameras everywhere. Are they like these cameras that are like able to move, or is it literally just like, okay, so
These cameras that were able to move, cameras that were standstill, just everywhere.
I can't, and to think about I think about the amount of storage just from like the videos that I make and editing this podcast, for the amount of storage that just however long this podcast is, it's such like a big amount of storage or whatever. That times like a million cameras plus audio and trying to sync that up. That's that
Netflix money.
Yeah.
That's
Show business.
That's what you're paying. That's why they keep raising their prices.
No, literally.
They're not spending on chicken or seasoning. I think their media school is like shutting down.
Yeah.
And they're like turning off the lights.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your elimination, just for the sake of time.
Yeah.
You got out with 432. Correct.
Yes,
You were
I
on
did.
his team.
Yeah.
Okay. Give your story.
So once again, they had us come into the white room, 4 lines. Didn't know what the lines meant, but they told us that we had to get in the lines of 10. Now, watching the show, it's been following the same thing. You're thinking that, this is tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
So our team was solid. Our team was, if it was tug of war, our team is solid. And then, my team goes first in line 3 with my guy Brad, and a couple other friends. We end up going onto the set, and we're just so thrown off that it's Battleship. Like, from a game of, like, just like Brad said, like, from a game of brawn to brains, we didn't have a lot of that, apparently. And
too.
Yeah. Can't drop out.
I wish I knew how to play Battleship. Like, I should have prepared for that.
Is it just the Battleship where you call out the space and it's like,
Yeah.
there's a ship there?
Yes, but it was like 3D.
Big scale.
4D. Big scale.
Yeah.
Like,
You're living it.
Living it. And
You gotta load the cannons yourselves and aim it.
we chose I forget her name as our
Yeah.
captain, and that episode is honestly like hard for me to watch because like my L is broadcasted to the world, and you just wish you could do something different. You wish you could have. I wish I would have gotten in line too, or I wish I would have chosen a different captain, or if I would have told her to do that. You just and it really sucked for me because like I didn't even lose on my own accord. I lost playing for somebody else, which is something I didn't even expect, and it was very saddening. It saddened me a lot to know that I'm not going to be able to go back to the dorm. That I'm not going to be able to see my friends. That this is really the end. It's over, and I will never ever touch Battleship again. Honestly, I swore that the moment I got on the plane, never touching it again, because it just brings back like. And a friend would be like, my friend was like, well, why won't you play Battleship? It's just a game. Have you ever lost $4 million to Battleship?
Right, yeah.
Like,
And that's the thing, like you said, I didn't even think about that, like not even on your own accord. Like it's not like you broke your cookie, and it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't your fault, but like you didn't really, it was just less skill based.
There was nothing
right?
you could
Straight
do.
luck.
Yeah.
straight luck. And I mean, that's all Battleship is.
Yeah.
Really, it's luck. And
Dang.
it's hard to think about. Like, it was,
I was gonna ask, obviously I haven't watched the show, so I don't have any reference. But out of 400, however many people are there, do you feel like you got? Are you satisfied like with the amount of screen time that you got, or like, you feel like you're able to say like, oh, I was on this show, and like, you can see me in this episode, and this episode, or is it like I was a background character?
I think it's more my screen time. I was kind of upset. Before we played Battleship, I hadn't got an interview, and some people were getting interviews all the time, and I was like, okay, dang, I must not be interesting. And then the night before Battleship, they finally bring me in right as I'm finna go to sleep, and they brought me in for my interview. And I was like, oh, yes, we made it.
Yeah.
So if I would have made it further in the show, they definitely would have, made me a main character. But, like, you can't, if you know me, you can't watch this show without seeing me. Like, I'm in episodes 1 through 3, you see me a bunch of times. And I'm also saddened because, like, my biggest triumph was also my biggest downfall. because my voice sounded really bad, like not good for TV.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I had like a lot of conversations, a lot of good conversations, but my voice was like this. So, and that's why I just wanted to fix it. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to get it right, and I don't have any speaking lines, but for me, it was really just like, I'm on it. I'm on the show. You can definitely tell I'm there. I'm definitely in it. And I can just tell, the experiences firsthand. And of course, the episode where I get the most screen time is my elimination. But for me, I'm just thankful for the opportunity and happy that I got to experience that and bring that into my life and see it. You know, and know that I can get and know that opportunities like this are possible, and it made me learn myself. Like, I'm on it, but maybe I'm not a reality TV guy. I didn't really think I was a reality TV guy. I wanna be a serious actor. I want to make real films. Real, do real work. But this is like a good base, and you can definitely tell I'm on the show. I had a couple moments, like they called me before the show released, and they were like, "You're in this episode, and you're doing, you're going towards the phone, and then you're in this episode, and you're getting eliminated, and you're, and that's it. Are you okay with that?" I mean, I guess if I said no, what are they gonna do?
Right. Yeah. You're like, if you're not, we'll just take you all out.
Yeah, but I'm seeing in almost first episode through the third one, and then when you get eliminated, they give you like they show your face.
Right.
So and honestly, I didn't think that I was shown a lot, but when the show released, like, it was so cool. Like, I'm a Fort Wayne boy. I used to, I people don't really know me like that, but people are, "Hey, you're that guy from Squid Games, right?"
Really?
Or, "Can you sign this? Can you take a picture with me?" Like,
Aww.
or like, I got asked to be on the news in my hometown, and I got asked to be on the news here, and people know who I am, and really, like, what I wanted to do is like just being on the show. Like, what they wanted was not who I was. They wanted 432. They wanted people who are gonna stir the pot. I was cool with everybody. That's what I was saying when I'm not really a reality TV guy. I was cool with everybody. I didn't have beef with anybody. No, I don't think anybody really saw me as a problem. They really saw me as more of a friend. I was able to connect with all these people, and getting that opportunity and being on the show can inspire. I'm from Fort Wayne. And people can see that I did it, so that they can think, why can't I? Just like I was telling you earlier.
This dude, it goes all back to
storyteller.
All back to his original like opening line. No, yeah, for like, oh my gosh, a guy from IU was on Squid Games. That was my initial reaction, and I just noticed that scrolling through on Instagram, like they had your picture or whatever, and then of course I've heard a lot about you since, because like everyone wants to talk to you and get an interview.
I'm in
stuff.
People of IU. And have you heard of that? Okay, we interviewed Mark Cuban last year. Like, they interview people who have like a connection to IU or whatever, and have like made a difference and stuff. And I remember in the group chat, they sent a picture of you, and they're like, "We should get this guy." And I was like, "Oh, I want that guy for the podcast more." So then I texted you guys, and then Derrick was like, "Should I know him?" And I was like, "This is perfect."
See?
But if you want to be interviewed people of IU, I can get that too.
See, it all goes full circle, and really, like, ever since going to LA, I've really just been on some, that's why I love Nike, like on some just do it time, like whatever opportunities come, you got to go for it, you got to get it, and, you never know what can come of it. I want to, and I don't plan on stopping, but I want to inspire people to travel the world. Don't be scared of going alone. You don't have to wait for your friend. You can really do whatever. And once you do that, your whole worldview will change. Go out for that audition. Go out for that, try to be, a front runner for a concert or something like that. Because you never know. I personally, I never saw myself doing the stuff that I've done while I've been in college, while I've been at IU. And I've knocked so many things off my bucket list, done so many dreams that, I feel like, anything is achievable, if you want it and if you work for it, and and it's even better for me, like when you see that someone else that close to you or on the same level as you has done these things. It's very inspiring. That's all I want to do. That I want to inspire my brothers and sisters to know that, you're presented with a box. Being in Indiana, at least, and all love to Indiana, but you're presented with a box. Growing up here, I never thought that I'd be on Netflix. I never thought that I'd be able to.
Everything's such a far away land.
Yeah.
I never
Such
thought
a fly-by state
that I'd be able to play college basketball in Spain. I never thought I'd be able to travel the world and meet all these people that I meet and do these things. But when I did it, I just want more, and we can really do whatever. You guys could turn this podcast into the Breakfast Club. You guys could really do whatever.
Well,
anything.
you're here for a reason.
Anything is achievable, and this is way off screen time, but with screen time being in effect, people can see that I'm on there. They know that that's something that's connected with me, and it's forever. You're out there immortalized.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Really,
that's
crazy. I mean, I guess we are. Everyone. It's like if you have a TikTok, you're immortalized now. I guess. But for some reason, it's a Netflix original. They're never gonna like sell that. I mean, I never say never, but you're gonna be on Netflix for a while.
Real talk,
dude. Oh my god. So how many? So like you have a girl come over, right? You go on the first. Girl come over. You know how it's like. Continue watching. It has like a big thing. It's just like your face on it.
Right. You just don't say anything. You just.
Please tell me you've used that, or you're not. You're.
I've never done that. Okay. But I did make that same joke. Like when I have a girl come over here, I'm about to, what's this?
Oh, have you heard of the show?
Episode 3, minute, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Hey,
Exactly.
what's that?
Exactly.
Let me just fast forward real quick.
Yeah.
And
Let me show you the good part.
She's not paying attention to you
but
She's like, I hate this show.
just wait.
my screen time may not have been major in that, but I also don't think I'm a very dramatic person. I think I'm a very chill guy. So
Right.
I don't even think I was fit for that, but at least I got the experience, and at least I almost had 4. And the money would be right above me as I slept. Who has ever said I've had $3.5 million sitting above my head as I slept?
Yeah.
So, but with all that being said, I don't plan on stopping here. I want to move to LA or New York. I just met an agent last week.
Awesome.
I want to, do some really big projects. I want to act, I want to write, I want to create, and do some really cool stuff. So, I think the show puts me like, I'm very humble, but it puts me on a different level, where people can, he did this. Okay, maybe,
It's like that first internship or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
It's like
You're in my mind, you're not even like I don't think you should worry about being the Squid Games guy or like that's your claim to
Squid
fame
Kid.
because
you'll make it.
Just from talking to you for just this amount of time, your ability to tell a story and paint a vivid picture, if that can translate, whether you're an actor, a producer, a director, an advertiser, whatever, I think you have so many avenues. As long as you can translate that to whatever media form it is, you've got good stuff coming. And that's not even just to like suck up to the Squid Games guy. I'm literally like, seriously, I did not expect that to be, it's like I'm ready to fall asleep because I'm just like, it's like bedtime story. It's just all vivid. I'm ready to go.
You are very well spoken. You don't need media training. You'll be.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that love. I appreciate you guys for having me on here.
Of course, dude.
Thank you so much.
Any
for coming.
like closing things or?
That looks like a lot more questions.
Yeah, I was gonna. I don't want to like.
We
take
could
up
be here until like midnight.
Exactly. We can watch the actual ad for the show since it is an advertising podcast.
Sure.
And
At least have something.
we're all advertising students technically, so we can look at this ad, talk about it, and then.
Were you asked or required to promote the show? One of
Oh
those
yeah, that was
questions
one of my.
said?
Yeah, were you?
We weren't asked to promote. We could do it if we wanted to, but I was definitely going to do it. You know, I made a post that, you know, I have a very special announcement coming up, and then I posted a picture of myself. And that picture did numbers, and it really, you know, it was really cool. Like I had fans, like people like, hey, me and my wife watched the show, and you know, you're glad you didn't pick up that phone,
Right? Yeah.
or people were making fan art, and like a month ago, none of this was the case.
Right.
You
That's
know?
crazy. Are
And-
people in your
Insane.
DMs?
Yes, like, and that was honestly like, it was a good way to jumpstart me because I was not ready for that. Honestly, like when my phone is getting so many notifications, it's getting hot. Like,
Oh, wow.
I wasn't prepared for all that interaction, or you know, people calling me, or people I don't like, people I do like, teachers from middle school
Right.
talking about I
That's
watched the
crazy.
show. Like, it was just.
You're like, dude, didn't you give me like an F in art or something? It's like, now everyone wants to be your friend. It's lonely at the top.
So, but as far as advertising goes, you know, just trying to get it out there, trying to, you know, get myself, because I'm really, you know, I'm promoting myself, but I'm also promoting the show.
Right.
Just so cool. And I like the advertisements that they did. Like they did this one in New York that my agent was working on. And it was like they had to answer a phone, and then they had to do like a little challenge. And I really liked that. I thought it was very creative. Just thinking outside the box. But to answer your question, the long way around, no, they didn't ask me, but I did it.
Yeah, right.
Everyone kind of wants. Yeah.
I mean, the least you could do is like a LinkedIn, I'm thrilled to announce, or something like that.
This was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch that.
I know people will sell their soul for a lot of money.
Unfortunately, I do think everybody has a price.
Everyone could use a little bit more money.
Times are hard.
You know, money talks. So, hey, give me something, I'll do it.
If I'm gonna do something, I might as well make a profit.
Wait a minute now. How much money are we talking about?
Leave dog poop on the sidewalk, $100.
99 cents. For 50, maybe I'd look the other way.
I'm going 5,000.
If it's at City Hall,
500. It's my best friend. I ruin that shit for 500.
$20.
$50? Like, there's chlorine in it for a reason. Enough drinks, that's what it would take.
You don't need to pay me as long as I don't get caught.
I would unfollow my best friend for $2.
Wow, that's like Judas betraying Jesus.
Probably like a couple thousand. I'm really good at posts.
I think I would do it for $100.
Gross. Also, who carries a nail clipper?
Specifically for him, just a couple hundred.
I guess you can be bought cheaply.
This is a dark interview.
Well, that's something different then.
$4.56 million is a life-changing amount of money.
Okay, that's the ad I had.
That's so good. I love the interview style.
I know what you're talking about the phone because I remember seeing stuff about that too. But they had a lot of different like game stylish for this, so I thought that was creative. If we're dissecting the ad aspect of it, I also like that it's not focusing mostly on the actual show. It's like other people.
Yeah.
But it still ties very heavily into the whole concept of
Yeah.
the show and then the game show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good. They got really good responses out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they did a whole bunch of interviews and just chose the best ones, obviously.
I will also say that before the show was actually released, I remember like on the internet how people were so like skeptical of like this show. I mean, I know I was too. Because I watched this over, I think it was like Thanksgiving break. So I was with my entire family, and it was like, what do we watch? What's like appropriate for my 13-year-old sister to also watch. And this came up, and it was like, okay, but the actual show is like, younger kids should not be watching that. But this looks interesting, and I'm like, people have been like talking about it, whether good or bad, and I'm like, let's watch it. And like my entire family got really into it, and I did not expect that. I imagined watching it and hating on it. Like, that is what I was like going into it. I was like, this is gonna be bad. Like, I'll just watch it and like make fun of it. But I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I love reality shows, so like that probably helped, but I liked it.
Yeah. I knew about, like, I had seen a tweet like they're gonna do a reality version of the show. Didn't think I'd be on it. Right. But
that's the podcast guy.
Yeah, we just had to make sure he's not kicking us out again.
He might be.
Was there any
questions?
Was there any hesitation when it came to applying to get on the show? I know you said like your former girlfriend. You just okay. Why
as soon as you got accepted, you were like,
and you were like, you didn't think you were going to get on it, right?
I was just like, why not?
Right.
I put a little bit of effort into my thing, so it was like a cool thing. I didn't think they'd hit me back the next day, and I almost didn't answer their call because they called me from a number that I didn't know, so I hung up. And then they called me back. I'm like, spams don't call back twice. She's like, hey, it's yada yada from Netflix. I said, I started running all around my house. We made it. And
that's crazy.
I was geeked. And it was just, such an experience. Such an amazing experience. So hard, so fun, so surreal. And, Squid Games, the challenge.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So tell us about when you first got to the hotel.
Any last words?
I mean, I said a little bit of it before, but I really just, to whoever is watching this podcast, I just want you guys to know that you can really do whatever you want to do. There are no limitations. It may seem like there are limits, but, you just got to get over that hump and believe in yourself and really try to make those moves. And just like we talked about earlier, networking is crucial. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. People will
My favorite quote.
People will hire their friends before they hire, somebody who might actually be qualified for the job, So if you can make those connections, if you can meet people and travel the world, there's so much more to this world. And once you do that, your worldview will be like, you'll try to see everything. You'll want to see everything. You'll be hungry. And, like, there are no limitations. Like, whether it be money or whether it be, your personal life, whether it be a relationship, you just got to push past that and try to achieve what you want to achieve because you can really do it all, and let me be a testament. I am very humble. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, born and raised, and I have achieved a lot of my dreams, and I don't plan on stopping.
Wow. So inspirational.
Powerful.
Yeah.
This guy's great. I think we're done here.
Do you want to say your Instagram or anything?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Promote anything?
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, y'all. So follow. Where's the camera? Where's my camera?
Oh, it's one of those.
Question.
I can actually.
On the left.
Okay, look up.
Is this one on the left?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're
that
looking
one.
at it.
That one.
All right. What's up, y'all? Follow me on Instagram at JuiceManJastin. It's the same thing as my Instagram, Twitter, and my TikTok. I'm going to start posting more. Make sure you're tuned in. And also, I have a movie called Sunday. It is now on Roku. You can find it on Reveal or you can find it on Fawsome. Make sure you tune in. It is a coming-of-age stoner thriller with a lot of twists, a lot of turns.
Wow.
And I definitely don't think that you'll expect it coming. So make sure you tune in. And thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for coming. It's amazing to
I would
have
say
you.
we put all that linked in the bio, but YouTube won't let us. We don't have enough subscribers to do links in bios yet, unfortunately.
Really? You have to have like a bunch of...
what?
It
I
used
was
to
a
not be
YouTuber at
like
one
that,
point.
but guess they changed the rules.
Interesting.
But
That's crazy.
Pleasure having you. I had a ton of fun.
Oh,
Me too.
I didn't regret talking over Katie or Derrick.
Oh, thanks.
Because I was losing my questions. Because the problem was I would have a question, and then you would keep talking, and then I'd get like 3 more questions. I forget the first one.
You have to make a list during the thing.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm going to like Barbara Walter or like 60 minutes.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. So,
Dude,
we're
thanks
still
for
recording
coming,
or we just
man.
live?
Yeah, we're still going.
Oh, yeah.
We're good.
But
We'll
yeah,
see
thank you guys so much.
No, go ahead.
Thank you guys so much. You guys, you guys asked some really great questions. You guys came prepared, and you guys I had fun. This is this is probably, you guys are probably the first podcast. I plan on doing this myself. Like, a bunch of people are asking me to, how was your experience? How did it go?
Really?
And I should be better, like, to promote my brand myself, but I'm not a social media guy. And this has been a very, a good opportunity for me to be able to tell my side of the story, tell what I went through, and, give people the inside scoop. So thank you guay so much.
So we're like one of the first for you.
We got the
It's
exclusives.
an honor.
There we go. Now we can get our subscribers up.
Right?
Yeah.
Spotify numbers up too. There you go.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right. Well, pleasure having you.
Yeah.
This has been As on Air. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.